I've always been a gameplay over everything else type of person. Like, who cares about the story or the graphics when you have tight controls? That's not to say I don't enjoy more story-based games. In fact, I love them. It's just that if a game doesn't challenge me as much as I need it to, I have a hard time staying engaged. So when Mario Wonder was released, I was concerned and excited. The new Super Mario Bros. Series was boringly easy, and even the 3D games I enjoy in this series are a tad on the simple side. There's usually no major plot either, meaning gameplay is most of what these games have to offer. And yeah, I 100%ed Mario Wonder, and it was pretty easy. Even the 6-star levels towards the end only took me a few tries. But I could not care any less. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is filled with so much creativity, stuffed with so much life, and exudes joy from every pore that it has. Every level is just another idea after another idea. Most of them don't even build off each other or share any concept. Each stage is an entirely new thing. Like in World 3, there is a new enemy introduced with every single main stage. What the actual fuck? Then you got the Wonders themselves. They change the entire landscape, sometimes have new music, and add a massive twist to whatever gimmick has been presented for what, like 30 extra seconds of a level? An entire new style of gameplay just so that a talking flower can make a weird quip? This is the type of polish that makes me proud to be alive. The constant flow of content does more than just impress, however. It acts as a centerpiece for Mario Wonder's level design. We all generally understand how Mario levels are built, even if you're not aware of it. First, a new concept is introduced, let's say a new enemy, item, or obstacle. It's always introduced in the safest way possible so the player can get used to the mechanic. Even the final castle has a cutscene to show you what's up. Then that idea is remixed over the course of a stage. Start with one hoppo, then bounce them into each other, and now you have to maneuver into multiple tight spaces to reach a flower coin. Finally, you have the test, where it's the most complicated, seeing if the player actually learned anything and ending with a quick challenge for the top of the flagpole. Now you might think that in Wonder, the flowers act as the level's final test, but I don't necessarily think so. With how disconnected some of these effects are from the rest of the stage, they don't exactly act as the extension of its ideas. Instead, Wonder segments are built more like a traditional Mario level. You still have the rising action as the game tests your abilities, and one final test right before you grab the seed. However, the reason why these portions feel so chaotic is because they lack the most important part, the introduction. Right when you touch the Wonder Flower, a giant ship comes out of nowhere, or stars fall from the sky on a 10-second timer, or King Boo suddenly learns how to sing opera. Without that safe establishment of the mechanic, the player is forced to think on their feet and adapt to their environment. And like, it's not that difficult to do. The timers are pretty long, and you're usually in no danger of dying. But I wouldn't want it to be any different. I had the dumbest smile on my face every time I touched a Wonder Flower, just trying to figure out what the hell happened to me. And that was awesome. The only real difficulty of Mario Wonder lies in two places, the badge challenges and the special world, both of which do something really interesting to the Mario formula. So earlier I outlined the basic level skeleton of Mario: introduction, rising action, and conclusion. This storybook level design is usually kept contained within itself. Once you pass a cool idea, good luck ever seeing it again. Badge challenges and special world stages are different though. For example, the first badge challenge you see is always piss easy. The most complicated thing you'll do is like run in a straight line, whereas the second badge challenge is almost always around 4 stars. Still, these levels tend to feel easier than the other regular stages in the same star bracket. It could be because of the infinite lives or generous checkpoints, but more likely it's because you're completely familiar with the level's gimmick. There's no need for an introduction because you already played an entire stage that was an introduction. It allows for more complex platforming without overwhelming the player at all. This idea is of course taken to its logical extreme with the final level. Every room you're changing badges with the most intense platforming in the entire game, yet it feels completely doable. The level is just the final test on concepts you already know, and you've been given a study guide on literally all of them. Wonder's ability to tell longer stories with its stages is a huge leap forward for 2D Mario level design. Now, this concept is nothing new, other platformers have been doing it for years, but it's new to 2D Mario, and that's what counts. Okay, let's see. What are other things I want to talk about? The final boss is actually cool this time around. New Super Mario Bros. Had this crippling issue where bosses were super simplistic because the game refused to have unique level gimmicks for them. You would pull up to the function just for Lemmy Koopa on a ball to be there every single time. Wonder still has this problem with all the Bowser Jr. fights and whatever this thing is, but Bowser himself gets the rhythm jump thing, and that's properly explained to you like an average level. Oh yeah, and Piranha Plants on Parade is one of the greatest Mario levels ever made. What a wake-up call from the sludge that was the new Super Mario Bros. Series. After 17 years of suffering through the video game equivalent of stale bread, this level proved to me that Wonder was going to be different. And I don't think I'm alone in this sentiment, considering the rampant popularity of these silly singing Piranha Plants. It honestly reminded me that Mario, this guy who debuted in a game where he has to save his girlfriend from a big monkey, is weird. Yeah, his level design might be set in a formula, the plot is the same every single time, but at the end of the day, Mario has always been about the beautiful, fantastical world that his games take place in. Yeah, that conclusion did make a lot of sense, considering what the rest of the video was about. Call that a wonder flower.